Good morning. I'm fighting a stomach flu right now for the last couple of days, and I've also worked 12-hour shifts for the last couple of days, and I got one more to work tonight. But something I've been thinking about that I just want to run past y'all quick, um, is the emphasis we put on this holiday coming up this Christmas. Thanksgiving was yesterday, Christmas is next holiday, and we stress out. So many people stress over Christmas because they put so much emphasis on what they can't afford and what they can't afford and what they want to give and what they can't give. And oh my God, it's just people just feel horrible about themselves then. I mean, people could have a tendency to really beat themselves up over what they can't afford. And you need to stop. You know, you love with your whole heart, you give what you can. And sometimes that might be a hug, that might be a smile, it might be laughter, but that's far more important to the people you love than any materialistic piece of crap that you can give them. And that's honest. You know, we need to get our priorities straight. We need to think realistically and be grateful for what we have and just as grateful for what we don't have. You know, be grateful for our blessings and be grateful for what we don't have to go through. There's people out there that don't know where the next meal's coming from, and we're worried about a bracelet that we can't buy for our loved one, or a trinket, or clothing. So I just food for thought, food for thought. Um, I'd much rather have a meal with my family and laugh and joke around with them and just all be together and happy than any materialistic thing you can give me, because I know what it's like to lose family. And I know how quick that can happen. Life is ever changing. You don't know who's going to be here the next day and who's going to be gone. Um, so the fact that we have each other is a blessing, because that can change within a beat of within a beat of a heart, on a heartbeat. In a flash. Life changes, and then you're dealing with the reality of somebody no longer being there and not being able to enjoy that holiday with you. And so try not to beat yourself up over materialistic shit that has no value. I mean, honestly, really, it doesn't have any value. We put the value on it. It really doesn't. And we need to put our value back to where it belongs, and that's in the people that we trust, the people that we love and we care about. And maybe if we have to give anything, we come together as a family and we give what we can to those who don't know where the next meal is coming from. You know what I'm saying? We stress out over what we can't give each other when there's people stressing out because they don't know where their next meal is coming from, or where they're going to shelter themselves from the cold temperatures that are coming. We take these things for granted because we go to work and we come home and we unlock the door and we walk into a warm house. We go and we heat up some coffee or hot chocolate. We sit down, we watch TV and kick off our clothes and our boots and relax in a nice warm house. And then you look outside at the cold temperatures and you see somebody walking with a backpack on with no particular place to really go. That's a harsh reality to be faced with, especially at this time of year. They're not stressed about Christmas or what they can and cannot give. They're stressed about just surviving. And and I just I think sometimes that we as people have a tendency to beat ourselves up. And this really is what my message is about. It's about not beating yourself up. Please don't beat yourself up or stress yourself out over the holidays. Give what you can. The people that love you just want you in their life. They don't want what you're going to be able to give them. They want you in their life. And those are your people. And the people who are only there when when you're convenient for them or when they need something, those aren't your people. Those are your dependents. I hate to say it that way, even if they're friends or buddies or whatever, if they only come around when they need something and they're there when you need something, those are your dependents. That's funny. It's funny. It's a sad truth, though. I mean, it's kind of a sad truth. But what made me think about that is one of my brothers posted something about that, and I was like, you know what? You need to take care of you and yours. That's what you need to do. You need to focus on you and yours, and being happy, and your family being happy. We all are responsible for our own journey and the choices and decisions we make. So if we're struggling with things that happen because of choices and decisions we made, we can't make that somebody else's responsibility. How unfair is that, And we should be taking on that responsibility for somebody else because it's not ours to take on, If you want to and you're able to, then fantastic. But don't ever feel obligated to have to do that because, you have a big heart and you have a good heart. You still have a good heart and a big heart, even if you set your boundaries. Even if you set your boundaries, you still have a good heart and a big heart. So all you single parents out there who are raising children in a single income home who are struggling and stressing this year, there are things that you can do for the holidays with your children or even your grandchildren that'll mean much more to them than anything you can give them. String some popcorn and decorate your tree together. Make projects together that you can exchange, like a gift exchange. You're putting yourself into that. Just like your grandmother, if your grandmother knit you a hat, she knit you that hat with love, and she gives that to you, and she feels really good about it because she put so much love into that for you because she loves you so much that she wants you to stay warm. Okay? Gifts like sounds like somebody's out there. For a minute, I thought somebody was outside. That's the mama dog scratching on the wall. She was scratching. Anyway, so the point I wanted to make and what I wanted to say was, there's different ideas that you can come up with to do things for each other, that are real inexpensive, I'll tell you about a Christmas I had once where my dad felt horrible because he couldn't afford to even buy a Christmas tree, let alone presents for his kids, and it was a real hard Christmas season. Me and my brother went out into the woods, and we were young. I was 12, he was 10, and we walked way out into the woods through the deep snow with a hand saw, and we cut down a Christmas tree. We went and found a Christmas tree out in the woods that was perfect for our house, and we cut it down and we dragged it home, and we put it up, so there's a point to this whole story, believe me. So my dad had sat down and explained to us how hard times were and that he wasn't probably going to be able to afford to buy us anything for Christmas. And we loved our parents so much that we understood. We didn't care about the materialistic shit. We didn't want our parents to feel bad. We didn't want our parents to feel like failures, But Christmas came, and our parents had bought presents for my 3 sisters and my youngest brother, and then me and my brother Oscar. There was one present underneath that Christmas tree, and it was a 12-gauge shotgun with mine and his name on there. And it was my dad's gun. It was his only gun, and he gave it to us. And I tell you, we loved that Christmas. That Christmas meant more to us than probably any other Christmas we've ever experienced, because there was so much thought and love put into it, and it wasn't materialistic. It didn't take materialistic shit to do it. It just took a family coming together and doing whatever they could to still make the holiday happen. And that holiday was really about us coming together and being together. To this day, at 59 years old, it's still the best Christmas I ever had. The most memorable one I'll never forget. As long as I'm breathing, I'll never forget that Christmas. I've had many Christmases come and go that I've forgotten. I've never forgotten that one. Why do you think that is? There wasn't a shit ton of Christmas presents underneath the tree like there was years before, or even years after. It was the most memorable one because we gave each other the most important thing: love and understanding. Love and understanding. Let's not forget what the holiday should really mean to us. So if you're struggling and you're stressing, stop. Stop doing that to yourself. Seriously, stop doing that to yourself. You don't deserve to put yourself through that, honestly. Gosh, and it's not an easy thing. It's easier said than done, but seriously, stop doing it to yourself. You put a roof over your children's head. You love them every day, every night, and all day long. You feed them, and you give them the best that you have to your ability. They got all of you and all your love. There's no greater gift you could ever give them. One holiday doesn't change anything. It doesn't make it more important or less. It doesn't define you. It's the other 364 days before that holiday that define you. And each and every one of those days that you're giving, each and every one of those days you get up and you run your kids to school, each and every one of those days, yeah, you want to give them something a little special, a little extra on the holiday, then do something together. Make something together. Go. You know what we used to do too? And it was always our favorite time of year was our dad would load us up in a vehicle. And then we would go drive around and look at all the house decorations, all the different lights and decorations that people put up around their houses. And that was so much fun because it was something that our whole family did together. And it was inexpensive. But it was a great memory. It was a great holiday, and it's a great holiday memory that we all have that I know me and my brothers and sisters all have. So these are just some ideas if you're struggling and you're stressing over the holiday and what you can and can't do. You may not be able to do a lot of things, but you sure can love wholeheartedly. And that's the most important thing. Don't forget that. I wish you all happy holidays. I love you all.